Hello, welcome back to the Real World Garage. We're back today with my 1954 Ford. Thought I'd give you a quick tour. Alright, this is a cold start. Car hadn't been cranked several months. I've swapped out all the gas, so we've got to draw gas all the way up to the carburetor. 1954 two-door custom line club coupe. I know that's a mouthful, but back in the day you could build a car from all the way from baseline and add different trim levels as you went. You could fill out a form and build the car that you wanted, and that's what a doctor in Birmingham did with this car. As most of you know, back in the day, coupes were bare bones, bottom of the basement cars. Let me give you a rundown of what this car was optioned. This car was custom ordered by a doctor in Birmingham, Alabama. It came with power brakes, power steering, automatic transmission, a clock, a heater, and believe it or not, it came with air conditioner. It was what it was referred to as factory authorized, dealer installed air conditioner. Back in the day, you would order a car with air conditioner, it would come in a kit in the trunk, and they would install it when it got to the dealer. Let me open the hood here, and I want to actually see if we can get a good shot with the camera as to how one of the ways they installed that air conditioner, because we left it intact on the firewall, on the radiator core switch. We can look down in here. We can't. We've covered part of it up from the inside. Let's see if you can shine your camera right down in here and see my finger. That hole, when this car was brand new, they took an oxyacetylene torch and just hacked the hole to put in the air conditioner for this car. The lines were run underneath the floorboards, along the frame rail, and up through the trunk. And this thing actually had vents that came through your package tray in the back to blow the cold air out into the car. They didn't have clutches back then either on the compressor. So if you wanted the air conditioner to run, you put the belt on, and when you were done at the end of the season, you took the belt off the air conditioner. So all of that, of course, has been changed. We've updated and modernized this car, and in some people's opinion, we've hurt this car, but it's not their car, it was our car. So I don't really care. Okay, this car was my father-in-law's and was purchased on Thanksgiving Day, 3 a.m. in 1994. My father-in-law had been looking for this project with his brother for approximately 30 years. They had been looking for one of these and wanted to redo one. His brother had one back in the 60s and used to drag race it and ended up selling it. But unfortunately, his brother had gotten leukemia and ended up dying of leukemia, and 2 months after he passed, my father-in-law found this car in Birmingham, Alabama. So he didn't let it pass him by, he went and bought it, and that's when the restoration project began. So come on over and we'll take a look. Get you a look through the interior. Of course, I've had all the seats redone. Have custom updated stereo system, 6x9 Sony speakers. We custom installed oil pressure, voltage, and your water temperature gauges on the dash. We were able to make those look like they were supposed to be there. We've added a digital speedometer, and we added a tachometer up on the dash. My father-in-law, the year that he found this car, this color came out and he fell in love with it. This color is the 100th anniversary of Mazda, and this color came on the 1995 Mazda Miata, and this is called Merlot Mica, I believe is what he said. So come on around and we'll go up here and we'll show you what we did for engine. Originally, I had found a 1959 or 60 truck 292 that we were going to build to put in this car. But while this car was at a friend of my father-in-law's, it was at his body shop, they had a car come in. The guy wanted to get some work done too. It was actually about a mid-60s Chevrolet van that had the engine in the center, and it had been customized years before and had this engine in it. And this engine was out of a 1965 Corvette. So 327, the double hump heads, the whole bit. This was a running engine. My father-in-law's friend at the body shop gave the guy a quote on the to redo that van, and he decided that he didn't want it no more and decided just to go ahead and scrap it. So they had this engine just sitting there, and a friend of my father-in-law's gave him the engine. So through some other swapping of labors and other things, this engine was built for this car, and it is backed up by the 700 R4, which has been custom built and has been gone completely through. It will bark second gear every time you ask it to, and even when you don't ask it to, sometimes it'll bark second gear. This transmission was built right. Go ahead and take a tour on here. We got the little Edelbrock 1406. Sorry about the wind. It's not the fastest car that ever hit the road, but this is built back in the late 90s. This was back before all the LS craze. So this is built like a traditional old school hot rod. We installed the custom halogen headlights. So we did an upgrade for safety there. Back at the time, we went ahead and painted these bumpers, and it is still very cost prohibitive to have these bumpers re-chromed. So at the time, he was quoted to re-chrome the grill, re-chrome all the bumpers. He was quoted a price of about $1,000, and this was a pay-as-you-go build. So everything we did on it, we paid as we went. So that $1,000 went into improving other things. So you can see we added Corvette flags and the 327 badge. This emblem right here, we actually took the V8 emblem off of the car. That was the original Ford, which was for the Y block, and this emblem we didn't have to do anything to. It was the same drill pattern. We just stuck it on there and put the speed nuts on the back of it. I only had to drill for the 327. One of the other options I actually forgot to mention was this car was optioned with reverse lights. The reverse lights for a 54 Ford apparently is a very rare option, and they sell for in the neighborhood of $250 for a set of them, and it was very hard to swallow the price for backup lights. So these backup lights are actually off of a 1949 and were $50 for a set. So we retrofitted and put the 49 backup lights on in place of the 54 backup lights. And if you'll notice the exhaust tips, this usually clues people in actually faster. They pay more attention to the Chevrolet exhaust tips and usually catch those before they actually catch the fender badges with the 327 and the Corvette flags. Alright, well, there's a quick tour of my 1954 Ford. I have an upcoming video that I want to be working on. It's going to be the entire restoration of this car. We're going to take you from November in 1994 all the way up until this car was finished in 2005. We have a complete photo journal, and I'm going to work on that video to try to get it out so you can see how bad this car was, and